Meanwhile, Australia has started taking steps to gradually lift restrictions again. International borders have reopened for fully vaccinated Australian citizens and permanent residents, with no mandatory quarantine on arrival in Sydney and Melbourne needed anymore. Overseas tourists and international students still face certain restrictions upon entering the country. Fully vaccinated travellers from New Zealand with a negative COVID test result can now enter Australia. Take a look at our next report for more.
Nearly 600 days after a pandemic closure began, Australia reopened its international border. As passengers began to trickle into the arrivals terminal at the Sydney airport, emotional scenes unfolded as loved ones reunited.
It felt fantastic to see the Australian shoreline again. I have been here for like 3 years and haven't seen my family for 2 years, so yeah.
Absolutely incredible to be home. It's been a very long time, so sorry, a little bit emotional, but it's great to be home.
On March 20th, 2020, Australia introduced some of the world's toughest restrictions to contain the spread of coronavirus. Almost all travel to the island continent halted. For the last 19 months, Australians have been banned from travelling overseas without permission. Families were split across continents. Tens of thousands of nationals were stranded overseas.
Well, I haven't seen my family for 4 years. We've been trying to get in for a year and a half, and my dad actually, he was terminally ill, but we were trying to come in as soon as possible, but he passed away a week ago. I'm sorry. So we were finally able to get a flight because the quarantine and everything, the restrictions got loosened, so we were able to come in.
The ones who did get permission to enter were forced to spend thousands of dollars and agree to quarantine for 14 days in a hotel room. These conditions have now been dropped for Sydney and Melbourne.
Much better. I feel confident to come back because if there was a quarantine factor, that was just stopping me to go. Like, I'll come back, 14 days total quarantine. I think that was a stopping factor for me. But now I'm pretty excited. There's no quarantine. Yeah, that's fine. I can freely travel and come back.
Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison said it was a big day for Australia. He added that the country was now ready for takeoff. Travel, however, is expected to resume slowly. Over 1 million foreign residents remain stuck in Australia as relaxed rules apply mainly to citizens and permanent residents. The 14-day mandatory hotel quarantine rule will also stay in place for states with lower vaccination rates. Meanwhile, Australia has also recognized India's co-vaccine for the purpose of travel to the country.
Thank you.
This recognition is for travellers aged 12 and over who have been vaccinated with Covaxin. It would have a significant impact on the return of international students and travel of skilled and unskilled workers to Australia. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.